Sun and Mercury conjunction, I remembered watching tons of videos. Actually, there wasn't tons of videos about this conjunction. I had to, since I have this conjunction, the videos I came across wasn't good or informative either, which is ironic, right? Because so many people have this conjunction. Luckily, I make videos and understand this conjunction pretty well or pretty easily. This is an easy conjunction to understand. It is only a matter of where it is placed in a birth chart. Firstly, the sun represents how we self express ourselves, traits or genes of our biological father. So the sun can describe the relationship you have with your fathers, even the relationship with the step or adopted father as well. The sun is entrepreneurship, what makes us confident to the point where you do things you normally wouldn't. Like how a drunk person gets liquor coverage, and the sun represents what makes us egotistical, what we boss around, or who tries to boss us around. The sun is about independence and being a leader. The sun isn't exactly management, that's Saturn and Virgo placements. Although the sun placements can make you have the top positions regarding where it is placed, whereas Mercury is about communication. Communication is so cliche in the astrology world that everybody uses it, but they never describe what form of communication. Mercury's communication is very heavily communication on social media, written, typed, sending emails, slash text messages, phone calls, etc. Those forms of communication. Mercury deals with your speech as well because Mercury has to do with the left side of the brain. The brain we use for logic and learning processing. The left side of the brain plays an important role in affecting someone's speech because the left side of the brain affects autism. When people, primarily kids, are autistic, you can see how their speech becomes affected. Obviously, the same can occur for autistic adults. I guess this video is perfect timing for me to upload in April since April is Autism Awareness Month. Now I'm still indecisive on if Mercury can affect your voice. I still think a lot of how you sound when speaking has to do with the second house because of the Venus and Taurus influence. I could easily be wrong though, because like I just proven, when the left side of the brain gets affected, everything can go wrong with speech, even how you sound when speaking, like stuttering. Mercury has to do with what are you naturally knowledgeable about, how smart you are, how you think about things. Mercury obviously rules language as well, many other things. I only gave this long explanation about Mercury because I haven't talked about Mercury at all in my videos. What I'm about to say works even if your Mercury is combust or retrograde. Don't focus on those stuff when reading a birth chart. Easily, when Sun and Mercury are conjunct, a person tries to self express themselves by coming across as smart or someone who thinks they might know it all. We all remember that one person in school who would always raise their hand because they wanted to impress everybody that they are smart. A person who would show off their high grades. They could very well have this conjunction because Mercury is about logic, learning, intellect, what we are naturally smart about. So these people try to show off with what they are smart about. Their confidence or self esteem is driven through how smart they are. Smart about what exactly? It can be about anything, but especially where this conjunction is placed. It's almost like ecstasy or euphoria to them. They want to be seen as smart or an intellectual. For example, if this conjunction is in your eighth or second house, then you would try to come across as someone who is smart through your verbalization and speech, regardless of where this conjunction is placed. Mercury is about communication like advertising slash marketing. I just explained the various forms of communication. So when you try communicating through those various channels, you try your hardest not to sound dumb. Additionally, the sun has to do with self expression and what we try to boss around. This happens now through your communication. So, wherever your sun is placed, you naturally try to boss around. You add Mercury into the mix, then your bossy side comes out through your communication. Whereas if the sun is conjunct Mars, a person tries imposing their will through physical force, those natural bullies. Instead, when the sun is conjunct Mercury, you could look like a weakling or someone that isn't intimidating. Regardless of how you look or appear, your communication will make you seem like a boss or a leader, depending on where this conjunction is placed. It seems that way because not only does your communication come across as egotistical, authoritative, bossy, you would sound smart through your communication. Your communication has a lot of solution and ideas, which can be intimidating because people with ownership or the top positions are only supposed to sound like they have the solutions. Again, another example is if this conjunction is in the 6th, 12th, 4th, or 10th house. You act this way at work, where you give out great ideas on how you can make things better at work. You would make coworkers or superiors at work feel uneasy. Then, when you communicate at work, you don't sound just like a regular person. You sound like a leader that is commanding soldiers or servants. You aren't exactly shouting, but you like giving orders and suggestions. Now, Mercury being about languages, a person that is bilingual or know more than one language definitely wouldn't hide it if he or she has this conjunction. You can't hide it because knowing more than one language is something that you take pride in. You would have to show it off. Language has to do with vocabulary as well, so these people would use their vocabulary as a way of seeming smart. You could use the rapper T.I. as an example. He does it a lot. Language or speech interpreters can have this conjunction as well. The more smarter you become as an individual, the more confident you become as a person. This confidence can lead to arrogance as well because you would often feel that your methods of doing things are correct. we all know those people that think they are smarter than everybody else, so they hate someone giving a suggestion. They would rather be the one giving out the suggestions. That is where the whole egotistical side of the sun comes out. There is a reverse effect of this conjunction. If people perceive you as dumb or someone that isn't smart, you would feel bad about yourself, which is a deficiency slash weakness about yourself. You gotta learn to ignore negative comments when people try to make you seem dumb about something. For those familiar with Vedic astrology, they have planetary combinations called yogas, such as a Raj Yoga, involving a Sun and Mercury conjunction. Then you gotta remember too, Mercury has a lot to do with sales and marketing. So these people will have full knowledge about what it is they are advertising or selling. On top of that, Mercury nowadays is heavily about telecommunications. So in areas like social media, these people thrive. Oh yeah, I forgot to add, I don't know if I mentioned it already, but people with a Sun and Mercury conjunction are independent learners. Anyways, follow me on the other apps. There will be more videos to come.